Now I have the privilege and pleasure of introducing our next speaker. He's our guest of honor today, and he is going to be, he's an old friend of ADR, and Justice Narendra Chapalgaonkar is a retired judge of the Bombay High Court. Actually, he's had two careers, or maybe three. He is known for his literary career. He was the Marathi Sahitya Sammelanaचे ते अध्यक्ष होते गेल्या वर्षी. He was the president म्हणतात ना Marathi Sahitya Sammelan just last year. And he has published many books as a literary figure. For example, his एक पुस्तकाचं नाव आहे कर्मयोगी संन्यासी. It was awarded by the Maharashtra Foundation. राज्य घटनेचे Ardhashatak, that is the golden jubilee of the constitution. That was awarded by the Maharashtra Sahitya Parishad. त्यांना समजून घेताना, and this was awarded by the state government. A US-based organization, American organization, honored him with the Jeevan Gaurav Award. So that is his literary career. He also practiced law. He was a professor of English or literature, Marathi literature, I think. Then he practiced law. Then he came on the bench and served as a judge for 9 years. He was also professor emeritus at Yashwantrao Chavan Maharashtra Open University. He has published 27 books, and he is the 4th chair professor at the ILS Law College right next door. But more importantly for us, he is very keenly interested in the constitutional status in the country. He has written books on electoral reforms, and is currently working on a book on challenges to India's democracy. So please welcome Justice Narendra Chapalgaonkar. Oh, one more time you have to clap because yesterday was his 85th birthday.
Dr. Naseem Zaidi, Dr. Ajit, Ranade, and friends. It was very kind of Dr. Ranade, our Vice Chancellor, to invite me to have an interaction with you, since the work of the ADR is also in my mind. It might be in the different form, but the purpose is to make the process of election more truthful, more useful, and also it should serve the cause of the Indian democracy. So far as the different aspects of this process are concerned, we would be having panel discussions in this afternoon and tomorrow also. But I will go to some practical difficulties which the judiciary is now facing. I know, I would remind you of a story, very, very well-known story, wherein our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, wanted that though Acharya Narendra Dev and Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay are not the members of the Congress should not oppose their candidature and should not have the candidates. This was opposed by Morarji Desai, who was then member of the parliamentary board. Morarji said that why should we really bother whether he is Acharya Narendra or somebody else? We would only canvass for our party, and whoever wins is our candidate. What Jawaharlal then wrote, it's in the records, that how many people we have selected on the basis of their caste, on the basis of their religion, pleading that the caste and their religion is going to help them for the success in the election, therefore we should give them ticket. And we have also advised to ignore their political character. So is it proper for us to now raise the question that it's a question of the discipline of a political party? Friends, this has happened long back, about more than 60, 70 years. But the situation is not improved. As you know, openly it is said, it is canvassed, and even the voters are told that a particular candidate or a minister is representing a particular caste or the community. So therefore, the Council of Ministers have been reduced to the Council of Castes and Council of Religions because of their own admissions. It is nothing is now hidden. It is everything is open. Now tell me that if somebody approaches a judge like me and says that the election of this person will have to be set aside because even canvassing that he represents your caste, it by itself is an appeal on the basis of the caste, therefore the election is invalid. How many of the candidates of all political parties, I am not distinguishing between the political parties, how many of them would withstand this test? I will tell you another very difficult time. You know, Jawaharlal advised Rajendra Prasad that don't go into Somnath. He also respected Somnath, but even then he wanted that a functionary of the state in the secular state should not make the people believe that he is also associated to a particular religion. Therefore, don't go there. Rajendra Prasad did not heed to this advice. But now tell me that when the difference between the State Act and the Religious Act is totally wiped out, poor judge, how he should decide whether this election or this appeal is based on the religion or caste? What material he has, how he would distinguish it? So therefore, many of the provisions of the Constitution, many of the provisions of the Representation of the People Act will be rendered useless if we go on like this and ignore the very principles of our Constitution. The second is, many times I know that the provisions of the Representation of People Act, particularly its schedule, were amended, and the limit for the expenditure which was allowed by a candidate is increased. Zaidi ji 2 या 3 बार हुआ है ना ऐसे amendments. Even then, we know that a candidate spends about 40 crores, 50 crores, 60 crores, 70 crores. Where is the amendment? How? We can't prove it, but people know it. Have we really given importance to the statement about the wealth which a candidate appends to his application? Because if the difference between the one affidavit filed 5 years back and the affidavit which he files today is so vast that should not he be asked to explain? We need not direct ED or somebody else. This task can be undertaken by simple police machinery. But we ignore it. Even just, isn't it an admission on behalf of the politician that this is necessary if our candidate is going to get elected? This all goes on. For the ADR's function is, we are not a rule-making body. We are not making any supplementary rules. But whatever rules this Constitution has made, whatever law the statute says, whatever rules the statute has permitted government to make, and whatever rules are there by the Election Commission's approval, those rules will have to be made meaningful, truthful, and useful. The court asks that the details of the convictions of every candidate should be pasted declared and pasted on the notice board. How many of the voters are going to see that notice board in the office of the electoral registration officer or the returning officer? Nobody. Therefore, ADR came to help. He said, their own cost published the list of the candidates and also mention the decorations which he has received in different courts. This was a service to the voter, and if you permit me to say, this was a service to the state and the election commission also. And this is we are doing. I'm really proud of the work of about 25 years back when I was judge. I was asked to come and speak with the delegates like today. But I feel that our strength will have to be increased. We will have to bring more young people, which I see sitting in the last line of the chairs, to this task. Because if we are not able to protect the democracy, the future tomorrow is totally bleak. What we speak by mouth is not really the democracy. The democracy will have to be felt by the people in every act of the state, and also in their behavior while dealing with every citizen. If you malign somebody, immediately the police would file a charge sheet. This is in my time when I was practicing, defamation was not a criminal offense. It was on the statute book as a criminal offense, but no case was that filed. But now we find that everything is used for the political ends. A small girl of about, say, 20, 21 years, she goes to a place for as a journalist. She files a report, maybe exaggerated, maybe some facts may not have been checked by her, but her intention will have to be looked into. Can she be forthwith arrested and put behind bars? So let them approach to the Supreme Court. Till then, at least 2 months, 3 months, she would be behind bar. And then we are satisfied. Friends, can this be a liberal democracy? This we have to consider, particularly there would not have been more opportune time, a more appropriate time for holding this conference. And now we are also sitting and assembling in a premises which is named after a person like Gokhale, who was one of the pioneers of the introduction of the liberal democracy in our political life. Friends, I therefore feel proud that I was thought to be one of the delegates which I should speak with the brother delegates, express my thoughts, and also would like to hear as far as possible for me, because now my health may not permit to attend the whole of the conference, but I'm really very proud to see faces coming from different walks of life, coming from different states, and with one aim in the mind, that let this democracy succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Chapalgaonkar, for those very kind words. उन्होंने कहा कि future is bleak. I don't think so. वो खाली वो delete कर दीजिए. The night is passing. So next we have a function. I think General Verma. So we will conclude this section of the chief guest speech and the speech by special guest of honor, and I'll hand over back to General Verma. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ranade. Now we'll have the next event, which is the release of the books. I'll call upon Professor Sastry to kindly come on the stage, Professor Chokar and Mrs. Chokar. Okay, so these are two things which we are releasing today. One is the annual report and the other is the All India MLAs report. So this will be available online also shortly. It will be uploaded. So because it's a very voluminous thing, The appendix itself of the tables of criminal cases is 1,000 pages. So that link is there in the report that can be seen, and the book itself is about 265 pages. So thank you very much.